Hello, fellow Ghanaians. Well, welcome one more time to your favorite show, that is Talk Shop. And let me start before I give you a message, even before we start the show. This is the show, and as we say all the time, we tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. All the time. And as we always say, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. So let us all be guided by the truth. Truth. Let us stick by it. Let's not, your friends had in the same cry, do flip-flopping with the truth. The truth is the truth, okay? And as I always say, and I always ask, what time is it? And you always answer, it's nation time. Thank you very much, it's nation time. And let me say this, I'm very, very, very happy when we check the analytics of viewers on YouTube. And we realize that the bulk of you are within the range of 30 to 44. The largest percentage are in that range, followed by somewhere from 44 and upwards. But the point is this. You are the next in line, folks. Those of you between the ages of 30 to 44, you are next in line to take over this country. And you have no idea how happy I am to know that you are my largest audience, because we are preparing you all to take over this country, and we are preparing you to take over this country with the notion that Ghana first. So that was exciting me when I saw the analytics. The Gen Zs there, they are yet to come. They are yet to come, but we'll give them time. They'll catch up with us. But the age range is perfect. Folks, it's nation time. Because believe it or not, no matter how bad it looks, and yes, it does look bad, no matter how awful it feels, and yes, sometimes it does feel awful, trust me when I say this, that no matter what, this black star shall rise again. Yes, Ghana will rise again. So stick with the truth, folks. Stick with the truth. And the truth is no flip-flopping. Flip-flopping leads to petty partisan bickering. Let me start this way, with petty partisan bickering. How low can one get to love the idea of politicizing so much that they can get so low in the gutter? I'm talking about gutter low, and not small low. There are different kinds of lows. Be a low kakra, be a low say, be a gutter low, omuda gatam. How low can you get? I'm talking about gutter low for a responsible adult to politicize cholera. Does that make sense? No, sometimes I don't know whether I should feel sad, say this is complete lunacy, or I should just laugh it off and say, well, forget it. One day they will grow up and realize that they were practically stupid. How low, folks, can one get to politicize cholera? There's been a breakout of cholera in certain parts of Takrady, Western region, breakout of cholera. And I think long ago, even before the election, I did a show that I was talking about how Parliament should be talking about things that are urgent, like the breakout of cholera in certain areas long ago. Folks, look, as we speak now, do you know what is happening in Takrady? Takrady Regional Hospital is reporting that they have over 1,000 cases of cholera. Do you know what causes cholera? It's filth. It's such filthiness, unhygienic things cause cholera. 2024 in Takrady, over 1,000 people have been hit by cholera. Listen to this.
Cholera, unfortunately, Takrady cholera situation is hard. People be bringing cholera. By counts, people do cholera about 1,000 at the moment, and 10 every. This is supposed to be a corridor where you have nursing station. This place is not supposed to keep patients, but because of the situation, you have to keep patients in chairs to manage them.
2024, 1,000 people, 10 are dead already from cholera. Cholera doesn't say, so I started in Taekwondo, I'll just stay here. It is going to spread. It is going to spread. And at this time, when you get into parliament, you are thinking about Navy for so many ships. Well, maybe Navy you don't have ships, and yes, eventually we can get there. But I'm talking in terms of setting priorities. Are the ships our priority now that we should start thinking now? It doesn't make sense. We're looking at cholera as a national crisis. Cholera are breaking out in the country. It's a national crisis. That's where intelligent people of all shades, old, young, Ghana, Northerner, ever, whatever, that's why we all get together as Ghana, actually. We have an outbreak of cholera in a certain region. How do we do it? How do we get the Ministry of Health? How do we do it? That's intelligence, folks. But we have people who are presumably lawyers, who are presumably very well educated, who can take something like cholera and make a partisan politics out of it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Listen to this.
And all we are saying is that there is a cholera outbreak. Mr. Speaker, Nana Adedankwa Akufo-Addo does not come in this matter. Nana Adedankwa Akufo-Addo does not come in this matter. It is your government in office.
Look at this. And this is a respected honorable to make such nonsensical statements. And this is not a partisan issue, man. This is not a partisan issue. Before I even go back to address this thing, let's quickly hear what the Minister of Health, how he responded to this. Listen to this.
Mr. Speaker, I was exceedingly surprised when my own good friend, the minority leader, was trying hard to link the cholera outbreak with change of government. For his information, Mr. Speaker, we started recording cases in cholera as far back in October 2024. Mr. Speaker, yes, that is the records. If you don't know, please keep quiet. That is the records. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, Mr. Speaker, in 2024, in October, DCEs and MCEs were at post. But we recorded cases. And so let us not try to politicize the disease.
Folks, should this be even an issue in Parliament to debate which regime has started cholera? Let us even assume, folks, let us even assume that because of the irresponsibility or the recklessness of a certain party, cholera has broken out. Let us even assume that, as illogical as it is, let us even assume that even if that happens, is that a time to apportion blame? Or is it a time to get your thinking hands together and think about how do you solve the problem? I don't understand this, folks. You know, when I come and sit here and I say nation time, and these days I always add that nation time cannot just be a slogan. All it means is that nation time has to do with our thinking, has to do with how we act, how we talk, how we behave, and how we come together as a collective to build this nation. Now, I'm not being idealistic. There are some people who will never be a part of nation building because in their DNA, they are nation wreckers. A nation wrecker, the tree is on my buffer. They wreck the nation. And let me say this, as sad as it sounds, there are 7 people who have it in their DNA to wreck the nation. And whatever you do, all the agenda is that let's wreck this nation and be free because the people I want are not in power. On my buffer. nation wreckers. Please. So I am aware, as I talk about nation building, I'm aware that we have nation wreckers who will oppose and agitate and fight me against all this. But I'm saying, regardless of all that, for once, those of us who want to build this nation will stand strong and firm and make sure that we win. Ghana will rise again, no matter what, folks. No matter what. No matter what. Thank you, folks. So, folks, by our actions and by our deeds, we should be moving forward, though. We are in deep crisis. You know, some of you don't remember, but when they were having during the campaign, I had a series called Advice. You know, I think I gave a free advice to Bawumia. I think I gave free advice to Mahama. I think, I don't know, Semima Alambiaminkai, you know, cheddar and things, right? And the crux of my advice was that I know we are campaigning. I know we are campaigning for political power. And I know that what makes the campaign for political power sweet is the kind of promises that you attach to it. So my general caution to all politicians is be careful what you promise, for you do not know what you will inherit. I say that too. Be careful what you promise, because you do not know what you inherit, you know. And I was saying this, that the state of Ghana, I think I did one of the programs that I said the true state of the nation. Reachable program, it was way back then. And I said the true state of the nation is that Ghana is in the gutter. I think Ghana is in the gutter. And if we understand the true state of the nation, we have to understand that, Charlie, even before we start building ourselves up as a nation, we have to get out of the gutter. Let me give you a comparison. And this one, my memory works some amazing ways sometimes. Way long ago. Long ago, I think that was, oh my goodness, back in 79 when Rawlings took over power. way back ago, you know. Rawlings was buga, he's a soldier man. But he has some very interesting and acute things that he said. He said Ghana was like a train. It is on its track, but it's going backwards, to fall, to crash, right? And what he said his revolution was doing is that he has to first of all get into the train and stop it from falling. And when he has been able to stabilize the train from falling, then he will start moving up. I mean, this was something he said I picked up so long ago. I don't think if he was alive, he would remember having said that. But why am I saying this? That the state of Ghana now is like that too. We are like in a runaway train that was spiraling downwards. And the reason that we were all here campaigning that things must change, things must not continue to go on the way it's going, is because the way it was going, we were spiraling downwards. So far for me, what we are seeing now with the change is that we have tried to stop the train from spiraling downwards. Now, how do we bring it back up? That's a challenge for me and you. And this challenge is not a partisan challenge. I know that the NDC is in power now, but it's not a challenge for the NDC. It is a challenge for Ghanaians, that our nation was sinking. Thankfully, we all voted massively to stop it from sinking. So we have held it at bay from sinking. Now what? How do we bring it back up? And folks, to bring it back up calls for collective thinking of how we can bring it up. Not blaming. Blaming is like who play the blame game. But I didn't do it. And then back and forth. Blame game is for children. So for crying out loud, can our so-called honorables stop playing the blame game? To playing the blame game to the extent cry say cholera cry, you have to blame. That is despicable, that is disgusting, and that is disgraceful. I hope that the youth, those of you in that age bracket that are listening, when you do get a chance to take over this country, you steer away from that crap, because that's the crap that is letting this country sink. Okay? Flip-flopping. Let me give you an example before I go forward. Flip-flopping. I believe that when the ex-president Nado took over power, there was the accusation, or not the accusation, or it's the fact that the NDC had employed so many people. What did he do when he took over power? He said, all these people, Charlie, you have to clear them off. This was supported. Say, when you're leaving, you don't pile that people on the payroll and go, we cannot accept this. MPP said it, and Rakufado said it. It was praised. His honorable Osafo Mafo justified it. Listen to him.
A payroll for every department and every sector, institution in this country. So if I'm appointed a new minister, and your payroll, you are not on the payroll till December, the day of the election, and you're going to appear on the payroll for January, when were you engaged in that particular thing? You are going to create a problem. If names appear on the payroll after December, we definitely will lay them off quietly.
There we go. Complete justification as to why that should not be done. Okay, fine. Yate. Osafoma for what can yate? Senior minister, advisor, what can yate? So now the MPP is also leaving, and just like they objected to an influx of employees when NDC was leaving the first time, just like that, now they too have done the same thing. And the decision to keep them has also been revoked. But now what? Are the same rules applying? Or is it different strokes for different folks? The same thing that Nanado did that was okay, that Honorable Chairman and then the majority leader agreed to and was absolutely silent about. Flip-flopping no more. Now Mahama has come, a certain thing, a certain similarity has developed, and hear what now Chairman is saying.
So we are public servants, and I also dismiss it. Constitution in Article 191 says you cannot do that without a just cause. Just cause any day. The recourse left to us, and they say, and they may impeach you.
If Mahama has done it there, we should begin the process of impeaching. Mr. Chairman, sir, are you aware that there are young people who are watching? Are you aware that the future leaders of Ghana are watching? Do you know how much you would have inspired them if you stuck by your conscience? This is wrong, this is right, not right and wrong as you determine. Folks, let's stop this flip-flopping. That's why I say we have reached a stage where we have to now confront our issues. The last show I did, or 2 shows ago I did, I said we should stop the hooliganism on both sides. And when I say both sides in Ghana, I won't say both sides. It's NDC, MPP. I talked very, very vehemently that we should really get to the point where we abandon this hooliganism when somebody takes over power. All this crap happens. So I am saying this, that it's not an issue I haven't addressed. But what I don't understand, or what I can't stand, is a good. Abai the boat techini is very good, so you use that stick to beat techi. But when it comes to bar, no, it's a different rule. Different strokes for different folks. Folks, that cannot continue to happen. And even with the revocation, I think the minister said, look, if you came through the right channel. And what is the right channel? The right channel was that the job was advertised. You saw the job as being advertised that there's a vacant situation. You applied. You sent your CV. You went for the interview and you were given a job. That is the right channel.
Mr. Speaker, we in the Ministry of Health have not revoked any health worker's appointment. Mr. Speaker, whether Ghana Health Service or any agency under the Health Ministry have not revoked anybody's appointment. Mr. Speaker, I therefore put it on record that any health professional who has gone through the right processes, who is covered by the clearance which ended on 31st December 2024 and has been posted, will never be sacked. And this is a house of record.
So far as I'm concerned, what the head minister is saying that all those who went through that right channel, there is no way they can revoke their employment. And I agree, unless he's lying. And when he's lying there, I can't agree with any lies. But the right channel can only be said, number one, there's going to be a posting that there's a situation vacant. So apply. That's the first thing. The second thing is that people are going to apply for the position. And those who apply will go for an interview. And out of those who go for an interview, some will be selected and then they will be offered a job. And the head minister said, if you have gone through that channel, there's no way they can revoke. But folks, if you bypass the channel, and you're in there because your uncle called your cousin's brother's wife who was connected to somebody, and so you got in that way, then you have been revoked. Wait, what is so about this? And I said that in my last broadcast when I talked about hooliganism. Let's just get the channel right. Folks, it's that simple. And anybody who doesn't think it's simple is because their minds have been, I don't know, you know. But Minkwande is very simple. The job has been advertised, apply, Nakoche, Koya interview. And the minister said, so if I have the right channel there, it will not be revoked. So if you know anybody who has gone through the right channel and has been revoked, then you have some grounds. But if you don't, but you're just assuming, then please, let us all try and move forward, man. Because like I said, folks, the train was spiraling downwards and people have tried to stop it. Before I even go there, it's not only Oche Mesa who has made an issue of this employment being revoked. I think Bawumia has also something to say. I think Bawumia says something to the fact that to stop revoking the employment of others and create new jobs. That is also very funny, knowing that you yourself was vice president of a past government that did the same revocation. And after 8 years, what new job did you create? What new job did you create? I think parties and government administrations have the habit of when they come, they say, bring your protocol list. So the MC has a protocol list, the MDC protocol list, the chief's protocol list, and they bring a whole lot of this book, and then they take the protocol list and they give it to Ghana Army. Ghana Police, do this. Immigration, do this. Whereas Passport Office, do this. So you just flood all these government agencies with excessive by force employment, and then you go and oh, we have hired 1 million people and crap. That is not employment. Employment is allowing the economy to grow, allowing the economy to be fruitful, allowing the economy to expand. And when the economy expands, naturally, there's a demand for labor. And so employment starts. You know what I'm saying? Think about that and create that. Concentrate on the economy, expand it, and let that create an atmosphere of job creation. Don't force people to hire people to the Ghana airports and the Ghana immigration, the Ghana through protocol. And that is what is eventually, if we don't stop that practice, will destroy the services. Like the Ghana Army, back in the day, I know the recruiters who go from region to region, they call Ashanti region to recruit, they call Northern, they call her to recruit, and it is based on their complete qualification to be a part of the army, male or female. the way they talk, everything, their structure, their health, everything. You see, you are fit to go into the army. And these days, we have turned all of that into a protocol issue. In the protocol requirement. Or somebody who normally would have wanted to be a lawyer or a doctor or doing something, who would have wanted to be something else, but the economy is so bad and so terrible. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to the soldier, but you need people who have that love and desire in them to be into the army. And then let them apply and train and get into the army. Not somebody who is your uncle's, nephew's, niece, whatever, because it was your party support and you put them in the army. That will destroy the army eventually, to destroy the police force eventually, to destroy immigration eventually, if you don't go back to the system of merit. Now let's move on, folks. The country is sinking. We have voted for change because we're under a regime that was a part of its sinking. And let me quickly say this before I continue. Media, I hope we change our posture. We are the fourth estate. We are independent. We have power. We can make or break. But we shouldn't decide to make or break based on our political affiliation. Let us decide that based on what is good for the nation Ghana. And when people are saying, the MPP is saying that, oh, we are looking for the reasons why we didn't win, one reason that they never mention or has never been mentioned is the role of the media. I'm telling you, MPP, the media, possibly 75% of your downfall. Do you know why? Because they refused to tell you when things were going wrong. When things were the pits and things were really bad, they said, oh no, everything is fine. And they praised you and they flowered you with praises. And it's like tickling yourself and laughing. You also believed it. You have forgotten that you were the ones who had paid the media to say that. And so when they said that, you had forgotten to say, oh, Cholera, but you see what the media is saying is true. This is so media. We are responsible for the downfall of the MPP. Not responsible, but we have a role to play because we could not be objective enough to let the president, ex-president know, say, Master, you have gone wrong here. No, this is all great, flowery. No matter what, we will find a way to defend. But that's another topic for another time. Let's move on. So based on the media and things, that's why I'm saying that we have another chance now to do better. Let's do better. Because now, you see that the tide has changed. I said on my program some the other time, said we have been to the IMF 17 times. And anybody who can go to the IMF to borrow 17 times, there is something wrong with you. Sit down and think and find out what is wrong with you. Because if you repeat the same mistakes, chances are that you're going to produce the same results. So whatever the mistakes that we have as a people, your committee for 17 years that we keep going to the IMF, no, we are still doing it. And that is why the last time we went to the IMF, some of us said, we are probably looking forward to the 18th time. Why? Because we keep doing the same mistakes. And as I said in the last episode that I did, this is what Nkrumah pointed out when he wrote, neo-colonialism, the last stage of imperialism. That's what Nkrumah meant. Oh. You see, you have gone to the IMF to beg. You don't know it's part of the imperialist agenda that will keep you in bondage. Forget about how the IMF, oh, Ghana is doing great, we are here to support Ghana, and all the florid language, oh, Ghana is doing good, and then they praise the leaders who signed their contracts and, oh, you're doing good. Why? Because in Nkrumah, they want to keep you in bondage, but you don't know. You think they are trying to help you. And as of now, from the last time we went to the IMF to go and get the loan, things will come out. See how much of the loan we have been able to pay. We are still being held bondage. We are still being held bondage by the loan. Probably another loan is what is going to rescue us from the loan. What is better? You take a loan to pay off a loan and be more indebted. So, Charlie, let me not lose focus. I'm talking about where we are now. And I'm glad that Mahama has met with the labor people and he has told them in their faces, let me tell you, Ghana is a crime scene. What a description. James says Ghana is a crime scene.
One thing that is a cardinal principle for us is to tell the truth at all times. We all knew the economy was in crisis, but some of the things I'm discovering myself, it's been a criminal handling of our economy. And Ghana is a crime scene, actually, because how a government can have been so reckless, I cannot understand.
He says he has never seen this level of criminal economic destruction of a country. Even when he was outside and he was campaigning and making all the noises, not one year aware, no matter how bad he thought things were, getting into it and now looking at it face to face, no, he now knows the depths to which we have sunk as a nation. That's why I'm saying that now, dear, let us forget the partisan bullcrap. The nation has sunk. Me and you, how can we get together and lift it? And those and don't allow those people who think in mediocrity to start apportioning blame. Oh, please, Mahama, Cholera, and that kind of crap. It will not take this country anywhere. Mahama, I'm glad he has got close to the mess and he's saying this. You haven't seen anything yet, folks. Some of us, we are privy to so many things, but we are very guarded in a way we have to put things out there. But let me tell you, folks, directly, we haven't seen anything yet. They say it's only when the frog dies that you can find out the true length. We are now going to see how bad the situation is. It's not easy. It is not easy. You know, all this talk about, oh, we are going to bring in the e-levy, and because of the e-levy, we probably do not even have to go to the IMF. When we bring in the e-levy came, we still went to the IMF, and things are starting to happen. Folks, me, I'm not a prophet of doom and gloom. I'm just a prophet to assure you that brace yourself for tough times ahead. Brace yourself. You know, when Mahama was talking about Ghana as a crime scene, that is really, how do you call it, putting it very, very mildly. I like somebody wrote a comment when Mahama said Ghana is a crime scene. He says if Ghana is a crime scene, then arrest the criminals. Celebrate yourself. Because where we are, it will come out. Mahama has no option but to ask for sacrifices from all of us, because where we are, we need the sacrifices to survive as a nation.
Even we ourselves in Office of Government Machinery cuts as much of our budget as you like, because we all must make those sacrifices. A certain distrust of the political class has arisen, because it's like when everybody else is tightening their belts, the political class is loosening its belts. But I want to assure you that we're all going to tighten our belts, and there will be no wasteful expenditure.
We can't do anything without sacrificing. For somebody who is a president of the country to declare the country a crime scene.
We all knew the economy was in crisis, but some of the things I'm discovering myself, it's been a criminal handling of our economy. And Ghana is a crime scene, actually, because how a government can have been so reckless, I cannot understand.
You sit down, embrace yourself. Brace yourself. So, media, in everything that I'm talking about, embrace yourself and everything, somehow deep inside me, I believe that we are going to brace ourselves to withstand the turbulence that is ahead. We have to. We don't have a choice. So what choice do you have? We have to brace ourselves to withstand the turbulence that is ahead. And trust me, when we get together as a people, united under a vision, say we want to lift this country up, we will survive the turbulence. And that is why I'm so elated when I realize that the bulk of the people that are listening to this message are in that age bracket. That's my heart good, because that age bracket, you guys are the next to take over. And you have to take over with the new mindset, not this outmoded, clumsy, colonial idea of partisan. Not this idea of even when there's an outbreak of illness, you have to apportion blame to a certain political party. That is craziness. That is outrageous. Afenyo Marking, please, let me end on this quickly. You know, those of you who read the Bible, the sad thing is that most of you say, Charlie, oh, me can't Bible, they take it literally the same way. Dito. Not just the Bible, the Quran. You take it dito. You know? Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because those of you who read the Bible, or if you don't read the Bible, there's this very popular verse from Paul. It says, when I was a child, I spoke like a child. I reasoned like a child. I behaved like a child. But it says, now I'm a man, so I speak like a man, I reason like a man, I behave like a man. End of discussion. All that Paul was saying was that he's evolving as a human being. And when you evolve, you move from your certain state of infancy in thinking to a more mature outlook in life. You become more critical in thinking. And then when I was a boy, and I spoke like a boy, and unfortunately, most of us are still like boys and girls. When we were boys and girls, we spoke like boys and girls. We grew up to be 16, 17 years old, we're still speaking as boys and girls. Some of us are now old men in our 60s and 60s and 70s. We all start thinking, we all still think and speak like boys and girls. We are not growing. Afenyo Marking, that's how you are. Grow up. One day, wake up and realize, say, oh, wow, this is Ghana. This is not about MPP. This is not about NDC. This is Ghana. And I'm part of the administration that sank Ghana into the pit. So I'm going to support any administration that wants to raise us out of the pits. That is when you grow up and you start thinking like a man. You evolve. Your thinking changes. So on that note, Mahama, Your Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama, please stay truthful. Don't try and sugarcoat anything. I know that by your nature, you don't want to put the blame on anybody, because the same way you inherited Dumso, we're all there. You inherited Dumso. You look Ghanaians in the face and say, you didn't cause it, but you are the president, so it is up to you to fix it, so you fix it. And we know that you did all you can to fix it. Now, I know that in that same spirit, you might probably want to withhold certain things because you don't want to blame. No, this is not blaming you. Please. This is not blaming President Mahama. Let Ghanaians understand the true nature of what you have inherited.
And normally, to forestall blackouts because of the loss of almost 2,000 megawatts of power, we have to make provision for fuel. And this is light crude oil, heavy fuel oil, and distillate fuel. Unfortunately, enough provision was not made for this eventuality. When the fuel arrives, it takes time to import it, 3 weeks to place an order and get it delivered. And when it arrives, you have to treat the fuel for another week and a half to make it ready for use in the generating plants. And so there's a threat of power outages. But my brothers and sisters, don't despair. Like I said, you elected us to solve the problems, not to put the blame on anybody else. And so I can assure you, with some of the ideas they've come up with, we would make sure that your lights stay on and that we do not have doomsday, as you popularly call it.
Let Ghanaians understand the depth at which we have sunk so that we can appreciate the efforts you are making. I'd like to say a big ups to Sophia Kufuor, who, of course, she was a Chief Justice under the NPP administration. And I think it's really brilliant that she's now part of the Council of Elders. And I liked what she said. He said, this is not about party, this is about Ghana. Listen to a little bit of what she said, then I'll wrap up.
The Council of State is a body that is supposed to be advising the president. I'm not going to sing his master's voice, so to speak. An advisor does not parrot. An advisor speaks with honesty. An advisor looks to the best interest, not only of the person they are advising, but of the function the person is serving.
What kills me, well, say I'm not here to do the master's bidding. Oh. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm not here to do the master's bidding. I'm here to tell you the truth, because truth crasheth shall rise again. So thank you very much, Sophia Kufuor. Now let me say this out there. Those of you who are in charge of communications, I know the MPP communicators are there, NDC communicators are there. Unfortunately, to many of the MPP communicators, the idea is that let us run the government down as much as we can. It's sad. I wish you stop thinking like that. And to the NDC communicators, there are many of you who are thinking, oh, we are in power. Whatever we are saying, we are selling power, and that's all. No. Both of you, please understand that now we are talking about Ghana. We are talking about Ghana. So to the MPP communicators, think about what you say that will uplift this country, because the mess that we are in, you are in it too. And to the NDC communicators, stand up and sit up, because those who are bent on destroying you with bad gendarme and propaganda, trust me, they are more strengthened than ever before to increase the amount of gendarme, no matter what we say. Let us stand together. Let us fight for this nation. Because no matter what, whatever you do, Ghanaians will say, Afefe, she still, Ghana shall rise.